Okay, I think I'm live. I mouth on me, so use it. So I'm gonna use it. Um, gonna give it a few minutes and let's see if some more people come in. So in the meantime, if you are watching, just give us a few minutes and we'll get started. I'll give it another uh probably another minute. So I'll give everybody another minute, another 2 minutes. So if you want to go and get you a beverage, I wouldn't get a snack right about now because we're not going to be on that long. But again, welcome to the show. My name is Marlon. I will be your host today. And again, I am very nervous. It's the first time I ever did this. And wow, this light is extremely hot. So excuse me for 1 second. Okay. I just open the window maybe to cool down a little bit. Well, it's almost 3 minutes in, so let's get started. Welcome to Radical Truth with Power, the progressive news show with Leslie Assery. Radical Truth with Power is the Black man's perspective on everyday life, political politics from around the world. Today we will be discussing some questions that was thrown to me over the course of the last 2 weeks, and I would do my best to answer it. So let's get started with the very first question. It wasn't, well, actually, it was the first question that came to me. The question came from Anita E. in Washington, D.C. Her question: what do you think the economic impact of COVID 5 years from now? Well, I don't know. And it's not that there is not information out there for to tell me. The fact that all the information I found or looked for, turn down my lighting, all the information I found and I was looking for changes over the course of, that's a little better. All the information that I looked for changed over the course of time because we keep opening and closing and opening and closing. And unfortunately, the opening and closing of businesses impacts that answer. As of right now, we can look at the economy as in the hole. It was going to be in the hole to begin with businesses closing, um, minus the big corporations. The big corporations are doing very well, um, thanks to the prop up of the stock market. They're doing fine. You not worry about them. Small businesses, now we're behind the 8 ball. Um, the issue that we're going to come to is once we open up, are we going to have enough economy to keep certain businesses afloat, um, make up that difference in lost revenue? And once again, the answer to that is I don't know, but for a different reason. If you're in technology, regardless, if you're into the technology field, you're fine. There is no issue with that. What I'm speaking mostly of is retail, restaurants, in any food industry. That is going to be an issue because, and I have to put it bluntly because nobody else have brought this up. What people seem to realize is we've already lost a half a million people. So it's one thing to say we could open up. Now we're maybe at a point where, but do we have the people to fill those positions? Another issue that I've run into, totally my opinion, is I personally want to see how COVID has affected the retail space itself in a whole, offices, retail areas, things like that. Because what companies have discovered is that you really don't have to be in the office to actually work. Banking industries have figured this out. Law firms have figured this out. Financial industries have figured this out that you really do not have to be physically in the office to still do the same work that needs to be done to run the business. So that's something that I'm very curious to see um, how that affects space in a whole, the whole complete area itself. I'm very curious if I just want to see which way companies are going to go. Are they just going to downsize, or are they going to? Well, I couldn't think of another way of saying it. Or are they going to make you come to work? And mind you, I'm talking as when we're completely open. We're fine. You know, the virus is under control and everything else. Are they going to downsize and have more people work from home, or are they more to the effect of I need you to come into the office? Not because I really need you to come to the office, but we've already paid for this space and we're going to use it. So I need you to come to this office. I'm like I said, I'm just very curious to see which direction um, companies are going to go. So hope I answered your question. And just to iterate, I don't know until we can actually get a grasp on this pandemic. It's always fluctuating. So what I say this month can change next month. It can change next week. So there he is. But thank you for the question, Anita. I appreciate it. The next question is I didn't write her name down. I hope you're watching. If you are watching, you know this is your question. So, you know, feel free to say, hey, this is my question. The question is, how do we coordinate to make a difference in terms of political pressure on the elected on the elected to do what the people needed? What we Let me go back to go a little forward. If there's any bright slash opening that the pandemic did is it slowed the world down, and it slowed the world down to a point where um, we are paying attention a lot more of what our politician is doing. As a matter of fact, I could tell you, go even a little bit further. My reasoning is that's why they want to open up the uh, the economy, the world, the country so quicker, because the fact of the matter is, if they open up quicker, if we open up the United States quicker, we get people doing more things. We're not paying closer attention to you. So my answer to you is literally pay more attention to your local politicians. Now, it's one thing to the president, your congressman, your senator, your House representative. It's easy to do stuff like that because they're given names. You see them in the newspaper, you see them on Twitter. There are names out there, and you can write and tweet, and hey, you need to do this, and you're not doing this, and this, and so on and so forth. The real issues that we're having is those smaller, unknown, and then representatives is a good one. The smaller representatives in your area, get to know who they are, get to know what their platform is. And I'll give you an example of exactly the people you need to look up. Think back to when you voted and think to how many times did you skip a page because you had no idea who those people were? Judges, whatever. I don't even care. How many pages when you voted did you skip because you truly did not know who those people were? Those are the people you really need to start paying attention to. You really need to start paying attention to the judges who are able to be voted in and out. You need to be paying attention to the sheriffs in your area. You need to be paying attention to your representative and your neighbor's representative. It don't have to always be your area. Pay attention to other representatives because somewhere it's going to affect you. It is going to affect you. You have to pay attention to that. And the reason I'm going back for you to figure out who is really truly representing to you, even on the smaller level, is you can't put pressure on higher representatives. You're really not going to put pressure on Biden. Biden is going to do what he's going to do. It's just the way it is. You're really truly not going to put pressure on your congressman, your senator until it's time to vote. So when it gets closer to voting, that's when you're going to be putting pressure on them because they're gonna come to you. You don't have to go to them. When it's time to vote, that's when you can put pressure on them. What you need to do is make sure the people who is representing your best interest, who is supposed to be representing your best interest, those are the people who could put pressure on the people in Washington. But you need to know what their platform is. Just because they're a Democrat don't mean nothing. It means absolutely nothing. They could be a Democrat and they could believe in everything you believe in, but if they're timid and want to, toe the line and don't want to make waves and don't want to get on people's nerves and, I just want to go and do what I want. Or you have a representative who really ain't doing jack, which is a bigger number than you think it is. It is really a bigger number. Just look at the two people we got rid of in Georgia. I mean, I'm not even saying, oh, because they're Republicans, we need to turn Georgia blue. We need to get some Democrats from Georgia. We need to get them up there. We need to turn Georgia blue so we can take over the city. No, I'm literally talking about Georgia had two senators on the Republican side who didn't do jack. I mean, they was barely in Washington. And if they was barely in Washington, they went to Washington to vote and to leave. That's all they did. Your representative on all levels could be the exact same way. So if you want to make a difference, you need to put pressure on these lower tier individuals who names you skipped because you had no idea who it is, and you need to put pressure on them because they're representing you. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying don't speak up for your senator and your congressman. I'm not saying that. No. I'm not saying let them slide. You could do the exact same things. You could write letters, you can protest, you could do a lot of things to put pressure on them. But what I'm saying is, I don't want you to keep your mind so focused on the big fish in DC. I need you to keep your eyes on the lower level, the people who are immediately going to affect your life. So I hope I answered your question. Hey, Tanya, it it sure can. I have no idea what that means, but thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Um, I am going to take me a sip of water, and I'm pretty sure if any relatives are watching, this is water. Okay, next question. And trust me, I'm doing it in the form of the importance because this last question, ooh, this, ooh. Um, but before I even get to the next question, if you're liking this content, if this is even the first time I'm doing a live show, but if you've seen any of my podcasts or you've seen any of my videos, please like, share, and subscribe. Um, I like doing these things and I have no problem doing these things, but it really does help that you like, share, and subscribe these videos, even to the point of let me know, hey, I'm actually making a difference. But it does get the word out there, and if I get enough people, it'll give me the courage to do this a little more. Maybe not every day like a lot of people, but maybe once a week. So don't forget, before you leave out, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, like they all say. Okay. Ah, excuse me 1 second here. Excuse me. Okay. So here's what I have learned. You can't do a live video, you can't do a video without good lighting. You also learn that lighting is hot as crap and will make you sweat. And I'm not even you know, I will be taking, I'm sorry, what did my sister-in-law say? Commercial break. I will be taking commercial breaks from time to time to at least at the very least be decent. So bear with me. But I will let you know it's a commercial break. So let's move on. Next question. Where do you see the Republican Party in 2024 or our next election? Our next election is in 2 years. Keep that in mind, people. Our next election is in 2 years. We can't rest. Where do I see the Republican Party in 2 years and in 4 years? If they're still thinking that cozying up to Donald Trump is going to give them a chance to win, they will be losers in 2 years and 4 years. I don't know why they. Okay, here's the deal. I explained this to my wife. Here's the deal. The rhetoric that the Republicans have used for the last 4 years is dying out to every non-Trumpster in the United States. In other words, it's getting to the point where they're sick. People really are sick and tired of hearing the lies, the gaslighting, the forgetfulness. They're sick of it. They're just tired of it. And because they're sick of it, was because of Trump. Give you an example. There was a poll done of It was a poll done. Basically, when the Republicans reported the poll, they said almost half of Republicans will vote Trump third party. That's how it was reported from the Republican side. Here is the truth. The poll was done of Trump voters from the last November election. So they polled all Trump voters. The truth came out that less than half of those people would vote for Trump again. So they they didn't even say gaslighting and lies and stretching the truth. We can't say Trump voters. No, 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 no. We have to say all Republicans. All Republicans. Oh, we can't just say just Trump. We got to say all Republicans. And we got to say half of they will still vote Trump. Less than half of the people who voted for Trump in the last election would vote for him again as a third party. I'm going to put it in even a deeper perspective. Less than half of the losing team would vote for Trump again. So you lost, and half your team of that voted for you to win is gone. And somehow Republicans keep thinking this is the ass of the person that we need to continue kissing to be voted in. No, it's not. They're really, truly not kissing Donald's ass to get voted in. Be honest with you, I really think half of them could care less if they win the next election or not. They don't need Donald Trump's whatever Donald Trump has to win the next election. They need Donald Trump's base to make money. And they're going to say and do whatever they have to do to keep that base happy by saying the most stupid, idiotic things they can think of. They're going to do it. If the Republican Party wants even the slightest chance, they have to distance themselves from Trump. And listen to what I'm saying. I said distance, purposely distance. I'm not saying, ooh, forget he ever existed. We never had a 45th president. We never had a 45th president. We went from 44, we went from Clinton to Biden. The last 4 years we had somebody. No, you can't do that. They need to say what Trump did was wrong. I'm telling you what Trump did on January 6th was wrong. He was the cause of everything that was wrong. He was cause of a lot of issues the 4 years he was here. And as a Republican, that is not our platform. It has never been our platform, even though that platform is still, not good. And it's kind of hard for them to say that's not our platform, considering that they literally went 4 years without actually having a platform. But I'm trying to help the poor out. I'm trying to help the babies out. You literally have to denounce him, period. Otherwise, you don't have a chance. Now, let me see. They are smart not to go back and vote for him. He's a mess. No, they wasn't. They oh, and by the way, thanks for bringing that up. Thanks for bringing that up. That poll was done before January 6th. So you lost half the people before January 6th. I would love to see what the numbers are now after the raid, after the insurrection. I would love to see what that number is now. It is way less than half now, I'm sure. Now, I told a person on another Facebook page that I will bring up a topic. this ties right into it. There is a second way that the Republicans can win more seats. And I will put it in number form. You have 100 people, 50 of them are Democrats, 50 of them are Republicans. If everything was kosher and we can get no more than 2, 3 people, 5 people, I just want to make the numbers 55 Democrats votes against 45 Republicans, we win. However, there is a way that the Republicans can win. Take the same election and the Republican 50 votes from Republicans, 20 votes from the Democrats. Now listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying the 30 went over to the Republicans. I'm saying that 30% didn't vote at all. And why wouldn't the Democratic people not vote for the Democratic leaders? It's very simple. Where the hell is our $2,000 that you promised? See, I told you, we have told you a many of times, we are paying a lot more closer. We're looking at you with a fine microscope. Your exact words, Biden, if we voted Warnock and also into office, the $2,000 check will be going out the door. Somehow, between the time that you said it and the present time, that $2,000 dropped down to $1,400 because you figured that the $600, which the majority of the people still haven't got yet, will count towards the $2,000. In other words, off the bat, you're playing us like we're stupid. We did what you asked us to do. I suggest you keep that in mind. I suggest that you keep thinking the Democrats got us into office. No, bruh. Black people got you into office, and black people delivered the Senate to you. Keep playing. Keep playing like we're just going to continue to keep giving our votes to you over and over and over again because you're a Democrat. Keep messing with us. Do you know how hard it is to even vote with all the things that they put in our way, the long lines that it takes to vote, all the different rules, the different regulations, polls closing in different areas. So we got to go across town to vote, no matter what the temperature is. If it's 2 degrees or 400 degrees, we need you to vote for us. We need you to get us into office. We, the black community, got you into office. We want our $2,000 or stop coming to us. Because you're going to discover the hard way who actually did put you into office. That's all I'm going to say about that. Tanya said, yes, he was wrong and he initiated that right. Yeah, he did. And unfortunately, here's a funny thing. Here's the funny thing that kills me about Republicans, and I wish somebody could help me out. What the hell are y'all scared of him for? The tweets? Because I'm not even understanding exactly what it is that Trump can do. Donald Trump is a 2-time impeached, 1-term president. That alone I could use against him. The worst he can do is tweet an insult to me. Who cares? You lost. And no matter how you want to put it, you lost in the election. You lost in court to try to overturn the election. You lost. And some reason, these Republicans, not all of them, granted, fewer than the most, but not all of them, still thinks he's the. Let me put it to you this way. I hope they make a third party. Did y'all even know that's one of the things Trump was thinking about doing, is creating a third party? Oh man, what was he gonna call it? The Patriot Party. Donald Trump was thinking about creating I hope you do. I really hope you do. Because then you're going to find out exactly how unpopular you are. Those Republicans right now know you're not going to win. If you're ever talking about some gaslighting, those Republicans up there know you're not going to win. But you're popular, and you're popular enough to keep making us money. So if I have to kiss a little booty to keep making money, so be it. If I have to look stupid, so be it. No big deal. But going off on a rant, please make the Patriot Party. Can't wait. But anyway, hope I answered your question. Our next question. Well, let me see. Okay. As my sister-in-law would say, we are going to take a 10-second commercial break. 10 seconds. And I will be right back. Please do not leave, because this last question is don't leave. Just don't leave. 30 seconds. 10 seconds. Really figure out exactly why do I swing my chair so far around getting up, and I'm just like right there wiping my face. Tiny, I would love to see the numbers too. Yeah, I would. And the stimmy checks. Yeah. Where's our stimmies? Need my stimmies. I want my stimmies. You said 2,000. I heard you say 2,000. You tweeted out 2,000. 1,400 is not 2,000. I understand that the education system in the United States is not the greatest in the world, but I know the difference between 2,000 and 1,400. I want my money. Last question. I hope he's watching too. I forgot to write your name down, and he probably know that this is his question because I did a lot of research on it, and yeah. Anyway, enough teasing. Last question is 3 things you wish white allies would do. I did a lot of research on this, and the political correct, and my answers are correct. Now, let me start off by saying that nothing that I'm finna tell you is hyperbole. Nothing I'm telling you is a watered down answer. The answer, the Wikipedia Google search engine answer, is correct answers. So I'm going to give you that, but I want you to really listen to when I talk to people who are smarter than me, that I asked that question to, and it was something that I already thought of. I was just speaking to people that were smarter than me to think, was I on the correct mind when I was thinking what I was thinking? Am I thinking something wrong? Am I thinking in a different way? Am I taking this somewhere it shouldn't be? So you have two answers. That's how good your question is, whatever your name is. And I wish you was on here to tell me this was my question, so I can say it is a good question, but you have two different sets of answers. The Google search, the Wikipedia answers are this: you have to join a diversity group. Um, it does not have to be Black Lives Matter. There are plenty of diversity groups in your area, and I did it. Google Plus said it too, but I thought of it too. And if there isn't one, you start one. You have to um, be in a room, be at a table of a diverse group, and it has to be centered upon our goals, but there's nothing wrong with how you get there. Um, Minus anybody that sits there and say violence. Other than that, no, I ain't saying back to 2 and 2. Um, um, you have to get yourself in a group other than people that thinks like you, look like you, sound like you. You have to get into the diverse group, and you have to absorb different cultures, different ways of doing things, different arguments. So that's one way. The second way is talk to your kids about um, race relations. See where they're coming from. See where they're at right now. See where their mindset is right now. Um, See if they even have um, a stance. See if they have an idea of um, what's really going on in the world. I want you to do that because if you, number one, they are the next generation. They're the ones behind us. And what I don't want to happen is you assume because of how you are is how your children is. That ain't always the case. On a lot of situations, that is not always the case. We all know, if you've been a parent for a long period of time, such as myself, such as a lot of people, if you've been a parent for a long time, you do realize that your children act around you a certain way and act in the public a certain way. When I say have a talk with your child about race relations, I don't mean sit them down and tell them about race relations. That's not learning where they're coming from. That's not learning what they're thinking. That's not learning what they're learning in the streets, in the schools, from their friends, from their colleagues, from the TV, from the radio, from their music. That's not going to teach you. Telling them how they should feel about race relations is not learning how they're thinking about race relations. They may feel the same way that you feel. And the funny thing about it is you may find out that they feel the same way that you feel, but they was afraid to tell you that they feel that same way. So they kept it to themselves. The other way of seeing this is you may find out that they don't think the same way you do. And you may want to find out why. Um, that's why I said you need to talk to them. Don't assume. You need to talk and find out which direction that they're going. And I say that for white people too. I say that for black parents too. Um, I had a discussion with one of my friends who I know, we think the same way and everything else. And it was brought up in a conversation. It wasn't even on that subject, but he was saying to the effect of, yeah, my son was saying, we need to do this and we need to do that, and the white man this and the white man that, and if we don't do this, we're gonna do that. I don't give a damn if we have to burn the world down. We will set this MF on fire, and we, bruh, need you to chill out about burning stuff at 12. I understand that you upset, but yeah, but that's what he sees on the street. That's what he learns in the movies. That's what he learns from music. So that's his mindset. So your child, black or white, he can get that same information, can get that same drive. Even the white children who is on the side of the black issues in the United States may feel the exact same way by picking up a brick and throwing it through a glass window. Black power. Know what they're thinking and set them on a path that is more, that can help us more than hurt our cause, more that can help us more than being a distraction. So, and the last Google Plus answer was challenge your beliefs. I'm going to hold on to that because we're going to go to what the my answer, people who are smarter than me's answer. We're going to go there. Um, I'm going to take a quick break, quicker than you even think, because this is actually going to be my, after this break, this will be my last segment. But it's really something that needs to be addressed. So, as my darling sister-in-law would say, we'll be back in 2 and 2. Ain't that how he did it? Was that Arsenio Hall? Yeah, 2 and 2. But anyway, be back in a few seconds. Okay, we are back. So, I think this is what I'm going to use to show everybody that this is the last part of the show. Cigar, water, Let's get it on. 3 things you wish white allies would do. Every time I thought of that question, and the people that I talked to see if I was on the same mindset, it didn't go towards what you can do, is what you shouldn't do. So I'm going to tell you the Wikipedia / my answer, because it goes into the same category. And this is the last one, was challenge your beliefs. Now, their answer was more or less saying, challenge why you think the way you think about race relations. Challenge what you think. Challenge what you think and feel about different races. After you challenge yourself, and you honestly challenging yourself, meaning, why do I feel the way I feel about certain races? And it doesn't have to be the black race. Why do you feel the way you feel about the black race? Why do you feel the way you feel about the Latino race? Why do you feel the way you feel about the Asian race? Why do you feel the way you feel about your own white race? Why do you feel the way you feel? Break it down into that's my upbringing. That's how I was brought up. That's what I've been around all my life. Challenge yourself and find out, were you on the right path, and is this the path that you want to be on? If you want to change, you can. It's not really hard to do. All you have to do is give a damn and have compassion for your fellow man. If you have those 2 things, you will be amazed at how much issues the black community have been going through for centuries. Now, I can say decades because that's when it was recorded, but let's be honest, for centuries. If you actually start caring, if you actually understanding, if you actually have a heart, you would understand the issues that the black community gone through, and you'll want to do more to change it. Because the issues of the black community is not just police brutality. Economic is a black issue. Education is a black issue. Poverty is a black issue. On and on and on. And you're going to see it, and you're going to be sickened by it, and you're going to want to help to change it. So there is my answer / Google search answer. The other thing, and this is not a shot, this is not a Malcolm X moment, screaming at the top of my lungs, losing my mind answer, but it is an answer that you have to know. Please do not ever tell a black person, I understand. I know how you feel. I know how you feel. I feel so bad about you. I know how you feel. You can't ever, ever know how we feel. You could be sympathetic to how we feel, but you're not going to ever know how we feel. And I don't want to say because of no fault of your own, because I don't want you to think, being white is wrong. But what I'm saying is, one more short little story. I had this conversation with somebody on Facebook when we was talking about cops pulling blacks and whites over, and I was explaining to him the fear that blacks have being pulled over because we don't know if that's our last moment on earth. And he kept constantly going, starting off wrong. I know exactly how you feel. I'm afraid to get pulled over from the cops too. And I kept constantly saying, no, you don't know how we feel. Oh, yes, I do. I know that you don't think I get scared to get pulled over by the police. I get scared about being pulled. I said, I was like, okay, you're not catching, so I'm just going to have to be blunt. There's a big difference between, oh my God, I'm going to get pulled over. I don't want to get a ticket, compared to, oh my God, I don't want to get pulled over because I don't want to die. See the difference? There's a huge difference between, sir, can I see your license, and compared to, sir, stop moving when you're doing nothing. There is a difference between, sir, can you step out of the vehicle, compared to, sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle now. It is a difference. You cannot understand how I feel. You could be sympathetic to how we feel, but you will never, ever know how we feel. Because in order for you to even get into same arena as us, you would have to tell people, this is the arena I am in. I'm for the black issues in America, and this is the arena I am, and we need to do something as white people. We need to take care of it. We need to help our fellow Americans to take care of these racist, bigoted, sexist issues. We need to help them. You have to say that out your mouth in order for people to know where you're coming from. All we have to do is show our faces. And I can't say I'm no more flattered than that, but not everybody, and trust me, I don't want anybody coming on here going, hey, all kin folks ain't skin folks. Take my word for it. The majority of the black people in the United States is on the let's take care of the black issues. We're not talking about the special people out there. But I digress. Taking that into account, all we got to do is show our black faces. All we got to do is walk down the street. All we got to do is wake up. That's it. We can't take off a mask. We can't sit there and keep our mouths closed and sneak around and think nobody thinks we're thinking we need to take care of these issues, because we are born in that issue as soon as anybody sees our skin color. So that's number two. Just keep that in mind, that you can be sympathetic. Just never say, I know how you feel. And I got 5 minutes, and hopefully it would take the 5 minutes. No, I'm not taking a break. The last thing that I want you to understand is it's a two-parter, and I'm going to make both of them short because I promise you I'm getting off in exactly 1 hour. The other thing that I want you to understand is I had to explain to my wife what a troll is. She didn't understand what these people are. I said, well, here's the deal. There are literally people out there who will go into a room, find out what the most popular idea is that's going around that room, and purposely say and do the opposite just to piss people off. That is their joy in life, to piss people off. They find out what's the most popular thing and they go the complete opposite. That's what they do. They like pushing the buttons. They like pushing the envelopes. They like being controversial. That's what they do. They get off on doing that day after day after day. They have no problem pushing buttons. That's their thing that they do every day. They have no life. That's why you think they go on other people's podcasts and live TV and do stuff like that. They have no life. They like to just pissing people off is a joy to them. What I want to make sure why I'm saying all that is what I want you to be absolutely sure is why are you backing black causes? Are you backing black causes because you really truly believe that there are issues in America against the black community that needs to be changed? Or are you just doing it because you like to be controversial and push and, you know, stir up trouble? I'm going to let that go because that's something you're going to have to think upon yourself. Um, but I really hope that's not your reason because you're really wasting everybody's time doing that and yours. But my last thing, I got 3 minutes and it's going to take all of the 3 minutes. I want you to understand. Okay, one more story, really short. During the summer, when the protests started, after George Floyd was murdered, um, I was talking to a professional. I'm not going to say what the profession is because I don't want to put them out like that. And we was talking about cops and police brutality and everything else. His father happened to be a former cop. And he didn't want to understand the fact that he thinks all cops are bad. And I'll tell you what I told him flat out. This was after, and I hate that I can't remember that guy's name, but it was after that old guy got pushed down to the cement, blood running out his ears, and the police walked all over him. I told him, do you understand how much cops hate black people, dislike black people? He said, no, I don't. I said, cops hate us so much, they're willing to hurt you, white people, simply because you support us. I say that story to say this. You are going to find out not only a lot about yourself, but unfortunately, you're going to find out a lot about your friends and you're going to find out a lot about your family. I pray that it's good news, but sometimes it's not. You need to make the decision now. Is it worth knowing? And what I mean by that is you may have no problem helping the black community all out, speaking up, things like that. But if you are afraid to know the answer to that, you may not want to make it as loud as you feel right now to be loud. Now, I will say this. If you truly believe in it, you're going to do it regardless. Right is right. That's just the bottom line to it. Doing right is doing right. And if you feel like doing right, and the hell with everybody else, wholeheartedly go for it. I'm just giving you the heads up that the world that you have been in for so long, may shift. And you need to prepare yourself, mind, spirit, and body, for that shift. You may see and feel people a different way that you have been friends with for all your life. That's a loving family member, the whole thing. Um, White colleagues that I've known for years is no longer friends of mine. Um, and it isn't making a different viewpoint because they white supremacists love to use the old thing. Well, it's just a different idea. It's just different thoughts. You can't be mad at me because I have a different way of thinking. No, if your thoughts is racist, and I don't want to deal with you. It's simple. Racism is the racism and white supremacy is the most black and white issue known to man. It's not a gray area. If your whole mentality is to keep black people down, to keep minorities down in any kind of way, shape, or form, even in a little bit, so you can feel yourself feeling better, if you really don't think there's a black issue in America, that is a white supremacy racist issue that's you. And I don't have to deal with you because you feel that way. It's not a political thing. It is a white supremacy, white privilege, racist, bigoted, sexist problem. And if I don't have to deal with you, if I don't want to deal with you, you can't make me deal with you. And you can't get mad if I call you a racist. I'm not calling you a racist because you cut me off in traffic. I'm not calling you racist because we was in line at the grocery store and you picked up the last bag of ice. I'm not I'm calling you racist because you really think that we have to investigate every black cop shooting, every cop shooting a unarmed black person. I'm calling you racist because you think, I know that cop killed that unarmed black person, but let's look at the background of the black person first before we make judgment. We don't know the whole story. We can't make judgment until we know the whole story. That's a racist statement. It's a racist statement. Sue me. I'm jumping to the conclusion that you killed that black person because he's a black person. Cop. I'm going to jump to that conclusion because I'm basing it off of history. As a matter of fact, I done got to the point where you have pretty much have to prove to me you didn't kill that black person because he was black. I want you to prove that to me. Otherwise, I'm just going to assume that's the reason why you did it. Killed him, pulled him over, beat him up, choked him. You're going to have to prove to me that's the reason why you didn't do it because he was black before I believe a word that comes out of your mouth. But I digress. Be prepared for your world to be shifted. If you're prepared for that and you truly believe in the cause, that's how you can help the black community. 5 minutes over. Didn't mean to be 5 minutes over. This was fun. I didn't have a lot of people watching, but this was fun. And I'm on film, so people can go back and they can look and they can go, hey, Marlon, you were absolutely right. You're on point. That was fantastic. Or they can come back and go, Marlon, you are a lunatic. Don't you ever be on film ever again. This is not your thing, bro. This ain't you. So I'm going to sign off because I got to go to work tomorrow. This is Marlon Clyburn with Radical Truth to Power. I thank you. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe before you leave out of here. And until next time, I'll see you when I see you. Peace.